Once upon a time, AMG meant chaos. Raw, mechanical, untamed chaos wrapped in leather and luxury. When you started a C63 or E55, it didn't just come to life, it roared awake. The sound of that naturally aspirated V8 wasn't just an engine note, it was a battle cry. Hand-built by one man, signed with pride, and engineered to terrify anything that stood next to it at a stoplight. But today, that same AMG badge sits on hybrids, 4 cylinders, and cars that whisper instead of scream. The engines are faster, cleaner, more efficient. But something feels missing, something human. So, what happened? How did AMG, once the king of brutal performance, become a brand many enthusiasts now accuse of losing its soul? Let's go back to where the fire started. To understand AMG's soul, we have to rewind to the days when performance wasn't built, it was crafted. In the late 1960s, 2 passionate Mercedes engineers, Hans-Werner Aufrecht and Erhard Melcher, set up shop in a small garage in Burgstall, Germany. They weren't chasing corporate goals or market share. They were chasing excellence. They took Mercedes engines, already known for refinement, and turned them into roaring beasts built for racing. Their breakthrough came in 1971 with the Red Pig, a massive Mercedes 300 SEL 6.8 AMG that shocked the motorsport world by finishing second at the 24 Hours of Spa. That single race put AMG on the global map. From there, the legend grew. The philosophy was simple but powerful. One man, one engine. Every AMG engine was hand-built by a single engineer, whose name proudly appeared on a metal plaque atop the motor. It wasn't just assembly, it was artistry, and the results spoke for themselves. The 6.2L M156 V8 became the heart of cars like the C63, E63, and SLS AMG, naturally aspirated, brutally powerful, and emotionally raw. It didn't just accelerate, you felt it. The sound, the vibrations, the instant throttle, it was mechanical theater in motion. Back then, owning an AMG wasn't about luxury or tech, it was about character. About driving something that reminded you cars could still have a soul. But as the 2010s approached, the automotive world began to change rapidly. Governments enforced strict emission standards, customers demanded better fuel economy, and Mercedes-Benz itself wanted AMG to evolve from niche tuner to global performance brand. Enter the twin-turbo era. The M177 and M188 4.0L V8s replaced the legendary 6.2. These new engines were smaller, more efficient, and packed with torque from their bi-turbo setup. They were marvels of modern engineering, light, powerful, and clever. But the magic of natural aspiration was gone. The instant, high-revving scream of the old M156 was replaced by a more muted, turbo-fed growl, amplified artificially through speakers in some models. Yes, the numbers were stunning. Better acceleration, better lap times, better everything. But the connection began to fade. AMG cars started to feel filtered, cleaner, more clinical, and less rebellious. The hand-built pride was still there, but the essence of raw driving had started to soften. And while AMG gained global recognition and record sales, some enthusiasts whispered the truth. It wasn't the same anymore. The sound, the soul, the chaos, it was being replaced by controlled precision. Fast forward to today, and AMG has entered the age of electrification. The world wants clean, quiet, and efficient, but AMG was never about quiet. The newest generation of AMG performance cars, like the C63 SE Performance, Combine a 2.0L four-cylinder turbo engine with hybrid electric power. On paper, the numbers are shocking. Over 670 horsepower from an engine that's smaller than a family sedan's. It's technological genius. Formula One-inspired hybrid systems, instant electric torque, and mind-bending acceleration. But something's missing. When you start it up, there's no chest-thumping rumble, no V8 bass note that makes you grin before even touching the throttle. It's quick, almost too quick, and eerily quiet. The C63 used to be a wild, tail-happy brute that burned rubber with joy. Now, it's a high-tech missile that leaves you impressed, but not emotionally moved. Of course, innovation isn't bad. AMG has always pushed limits, but the trade-off feels steep. Fans who grew up with roaring E55s and C63s struggle to connect with an electrified four-cylinder, no matter how fast it is. And that's the paradox of modern AMG. It's more capable than ever, yet somehow less alive. This is where the debate ignites. Some say AMG has evolved, adapted to survive in a changing world. They argue that today's AMG lineup offers more variety than ever before. SUVs, EVs, hybrids, GT cars, all tuned with surgical precision. And they're right, the engineering is breathtaking. But the emotion, that primal connection between driver and machine, is harder to find. The AMG experience has transformed from visceral rebellion to technological dominance. Once, an AMG was unpredictable, dangerous even. Now, it's tamed by electronics, torque vectoring, and software-controlled everything. Inside, where once sat analog gauges and minimalist interiors, now there are massive digital dashboards and ambient lighting strips. Luxury has replaced grit. Perfection replaced passion. The one-man, one-engine plaque still exists, but in a world of modular platforms and hybrid modules, it feels more symbolic than real. This is why enthusiasts feel conflicted. AMG used to stand for individuality and craftsmanship. Now, some models feel like just another product of the Mercedes corporate machine. It's not dead, but it's definitely different. So, what's next for AMG? The brand stands at a critical crossroads, caught between preserving its heritage and leading the charge into a digital, electrified future. There's hope. Projects like the AMG One prove that the spirit of innovation is alive. It's a hypercar with a literal Formula One engine, 1.6 liters of hybrid insanity making over 1,000 horsepower. That's engineering brilliance on another level. But it also shows how complex and expensive this new AMG world has become. It's less about emotion and more about experimentation. Meanwhile, purists are calling for a rebirth, asking AMG to revisit the analog thrill of its golden years. Maybe through synthetic fuels, lightweight builds, or a modern take on the naturally aspirated formula. The truth is, AMG can still find balance. It can be both futuristic and soulful, if it remembers why it existed in the first place. To build cars that make your heart race, not just your stopwatch. Because in the end, numbers fade. But the feeling you get behind the wheel of a true AMG that stays with you forever. Because when you strip away the carbon fiber, the touchscreens, and the lap times, what truly defines AMG isn't horsepower, it's heart power. AMG was born from rebellion, two engineers who refused to settle for ordinary. And even today, beneath all the software and hybrid systems, that rebellious spark is still buried in its DNA. You can feel it when an AMG roars to life, even if it's a little quieter now. Maybe the world changed faster than enthusiasts wanted. Maybe the age of roaring V8s is fading, but the passion that built them doesn't have to. Because no matter how digital or electric the future becomes, one thing remains timeless. Driving should make you feel something. And as long as AMG remembers that, the soul of a Falterbach will never truly die.